Yo, what up, YouTube? It's your boy Black. I know I ain't did a video in a while, but I'm doing a lot of work and running around and trying to squeeze in some gameplay and time at the same time around that. You know what I mean? So it's hard to just sit here and make videos a little bit now, but I'm still trying to push the information through to you guys. I'm gonna try and do a news video probably later because I haven't done one of those in a while. And a couple things in news is a couple things in gaming news right now are really piquing my interest. I just woke up just now, so I'm trying to squeeze in some gameplay before I get dressed and shit. So, and I'm making this video right now too. So I'm gonna try and get a couple things done this morning because I only got that much to do today. So I say, hey, why not just sit here and make a YouTube video? But I know I haven't done the Metal Gear Solid 2 story video yet. It's because I haven't played that game in a long time, so I want to make sure I get all the information right. I know the story, but I want to make sure I get it all out there right because there's a lot of twists and turns in that story that I mean they made sense, but it was pretty confusing. So I want to make sure I do it correctly. And this video is about Metal Gear though, even though it's not about the MGS2 story, not yet. But I am gonna do that video as soon as possible. I'm gonna try to. I tried to do it a weekend ago, and I just couldn't. I couldn't fit it into my schedule. But I'm gonna show you my small but nice enough for me Metal Gear Solid collection because I don't really buy too much overseas stuff. I don't really buy too much special order stuff. Even though I would like to get some Metal Gear Solid action figures, which I'm gonna look into. Some modestly priced ones because they go from $50 to I see like $150, which is freaking crazy. But first thing I'm gonna start off with is boom, the Metal Gear Solid Essentials collection. Had this for a while. Consists of Metal Gear Solid, Metal Gear Solid 2, and Metal Gear Solid 3. Now, this right here is probably the best way to start your collection because you get all three games in one shot. You know, so you have the first three games in the series in one shot, and they're very particularly nice. I mean, 2 and 3, I believe, are the subsistence versions of the game. So they have the free camera angle in Metal Gear Solid 3 that wasn't there initially when they first made the game. So you're getting, I guess you could say, a higher quality version of Metal Gear Solid 3. In subsistence, Metal Gear Solid 2 has like a bunch of mini games, some Snake Tales, things like that. So this is most definitely worth buying, and artwork on the front is pretty freaking cool. And I really love the art for Metal Gear, the storytelling for Metal Gear. To me, it's one of the most definitive stories in any video game, probably of all time. There's no story in any video game that's like the story in Metal Gear Solid. It's hard to understand, but once you understand, it's like, wow, this is a totally original story. There's nothing like it at all in video games. Other games have tried to imitate what Metal Gear do and what Metal Gear does, and it just never plays out the same way. The epicness of Metal Gear. Like I remember when I first played Metal Gear Solid, I was at actually a friend's house in Christmas, I believe 1998 or something like that. And I was at a friend's house, and he had just got a PS1. Oh yeah, PS1, and he had two games with it. He had Metal Gear Solid, and he had Tenchu Stealth Assassins. Right, two pretty big games now that I think about it from back in the day coming in because there's no games like those games now. Tenchu Stealth Assassins was a ninja game that was heavy on stealth, and it played like a real ninja game, not like Ninja Gaiden, where you just run around and just hack up tanks and shit. That's totally non-realistic. This game worked real, where you were sneaking and using ninja traps and hiding in the dark and flipping roof to roof. It was a realistic ninja game. Okay, Metal Gear Solid was a stealth espionage game where the gameplay wasn't at the stage of the game, wasn't at the forefront of the game. The game was more about storyline, but the graphics were good. But the storytelling in the game was phenomenal, and that's what attracted a lot of people to this game. This one game attracted me to the whole entire Metal Gear Solid series. Just the deepness of the story, the voice acting was freaking incredible. Um, the character development, how they went so deep into the characters that they would have conversations that last like 45 minutes. But some people didn't like that stuff. They rather run around blowing people's heads off for that extra 45 minutes. Me, I like that they build so much on the story for the character because it makes the world more believable, and it makes you care about the characters in it. You know, instead of you just playing a game and a character dies and you're like, oh well, you don't really give a damn because you have no emotional connection with the characters. This game plays on that. It plays on that emotional connection. Games like this, to me, if it wasn't for game series or games like this, to me, there would be no games like Heavy Rain. Um, there would be no games like what's another one that's very heavy on storytelling? Alan Wake, Max Payne, because back in them days they didn't believe a deep, deep story in a game, presenting the story very broadly in the game would sell. You know, they did do it with a military title, so it's not like they tried something that was too far from interesting. I mean, who doesn't like shooters and guns and spies and, you know, crazy characters? I mean, but it was attractive, but they made it appealing in a way where the storyline was the thing that made it appealing. They didn't focus so heavy on the gameplay, even though the gameplay was very unique. You know, and I like that about Metal Gear, that somebody took the time to make a story-driven game that does have really good action sequences and feels very epic when you're playing it, and is technical in some aspects because it's a very heavy sneaking type of game. You know, so make sure you go get this if you haven't played Metal Gear Solid. They're very retro and old school, probably compared to some of the games out now, but still classic games, epic, timeless games. I got another copy of Metal Gear Solid 1 just to have, because this game is kind of hard to find now because they don't sell it by itself. You have to get this Essentials pack to get it, unless you're going to pay for the old school PlayStation 1 Square box, was like $100. I seen it on Amazon. Uh, Metal Gear Solid 4. I'm not doing these in any particular order if you're wondering. Right? I had the collector's edition, but it ended up getting stolen when I wasn't home for a while. I was out of town for a long time, and then I came back and somebody had robbed my apartment. But it's all good because I'm still gonna get the collector's edition back. I'm gonna buy that off Amazon probably, because I just have to have that back. And the case was just too cool, and the artwork in the front was freaking amazing. So I'm gonna purchase that back. It's like $100. It's not that bad, but still, you know. But I still have the disc that came with the collector's edition, which was like the only thing besides the case that made it really special to me anyway. You know, and this disc basically it chronologizes the creation process for the Metal Gear Solid series, like what Hideo Kojima was thinking when he made the games. There's a huge reference in the game to, hold on, let me grab this so I can give you some history on Metal Gear as a series. Snake as a character in the games actually come from these two movies. This is where Snake came from. Escape from LA, Escape from New York. These are two movies that Hideo Kojima liked and watched when he was younger, and they inspired him to make this series. So thank God for these movies coming out, because we would have no Metal Gear, and it would be a dull, dead, storyless gaming industry right now, if you ask me, because this guy is the king of storytelling in games, Hideo Kojima. And what he does is this is not the only thing that he watched and loved to make Metal Gear. He also watched stuff like Police Knots, which I think only came out in America. I never seen Police Knots. And he was into mech animation cartoons. So that's where the Metal Gear the robots came in, the walking battle tank, because he was in the mech anime cartoons. So he just incorporated all the stuff that he likes to view and media that he likes himself, and created a video game with a very deep story. You know, and this disc explains that, and he knows that his game telling and storytelling is very epic, and this picture in the front is actually symbolic. If you look, all of this stuff down here is actually things from the Metal Gear Solid series. Like one of those is I forgot the octopus character from Metal Gear Solid 4, not Decoy Octopus, another octopus character with the puppets. Vulcan Raven's back there. A suppressed gun is back there. The ninja, they're like silhouettes. Solidus is back there. It's like silhouettes, and they're all breaking apart like they all were part of Snake. And what that represented, he said, was that he wanted his game making skills to trickle down into other games, you know, and it did. I forgot. I recently played a game, and I was like, wow, this is very reminiscent to Metal Gear Solid in the way it played. I just don't remember what game it was right now. Um, I don't know, but I would say Assassin's Creed is kind of like it too because it's heavy on the sneaking and it's very heavy on the storytelling. I think Assassin's Creed story-wise is kind of getting close to this game because the storytelling is very deep and hard to follow, and there's a lot of twists and turns, a lot of twists and turns. But oh, Deus Ex was the game I was thinking about. Like it borrows a lot of stuff from Metal Gear. I feel like the technology wise, and Metal Gear's been around for 20 something years now, so it's older than Deus Ex. I believe it's older. I'm not sure when the computer version of Deus Ex came out, but I remember that this game came out. The original one I think came out in 1984 or something like that. The year I was born, actually. A lot of good stuff came out that year. She Transformers, that, a couple other things. But this disc is really, really cool. I mean, it's really, really neat. Hear his game making process and have it just laid out to see how he makes these games. So it's like a making of for all the Metal Gear games. So that's pretty neat. Um, Second thing I'm going to show you is, boom, Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker Big Boss Pack. Came with 4 GB memory stick, custom skinned or custom paint job on your PSP, which was Metal Gear style military camo green. Came with a little carrying case for the PSP, which was also Metal Gear green, military Metal Gear green, and a little code for 2012, and another little code for a special T-shirt and stealth gun, which was for multiplayer. Which I never really played this game with anybody online. See, the thing about the PSP is they make games that support clever online features, but people just don't sit and play PSP online. So it's really hard to me, and it's pointless for developers to go that hard to put clever online features that are not necessary because people don't use them. They don't make use of them too much. Like in Peace Walker, which this bundle consists of, Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker Big Boss Pack. In Peace Walker, there's co-op modes, and you do a stage, and you hear Kaz, who's Kazurai Miller, the guy who actually Solid Snake was imitating to be in Metal Gear Solid 1. You actually hear him talking to Snake, telling him that there's a path to the left, but you can't get there by yourself. And it's like they incorporate, that's clever how he incorporates that into the game, Hideo, but people really don't play online like that, so it's hard to get a match. And people in my area aren't really into Metal Gear because they're too busy playing Call of Duty and Madden and all that type of shit. So a game where you just sit there, look at the TV, and somebody's talking to you for 45 minutes is too dull for them. Okay, so you got to keep stuff fresh for their brains, or they get bored too easily. People don't do a lot of reading nowadays. Next game I have is, which is a game I don't see a lot of people have, so I consider it to be a rare find, especially in this condition that I have it in, even though it's not in perfect condition. But I have the case, I have the instructions, I have both discs. I mean, it even has the warning manual and everything inside of there, which is Metal Gear Solid, the Twin Snakes, which is actually a redo of Metal Gear Solid. Right? Well, that's Metal Gear, yeah, Metal Gear Solid, the Twin Snakes. It's a redo of Metal Gear Solid. So, if anybody's wondering why, well, this other bundle didn't come with Metal Gear Solid 1, this is why. Well, I'll explain that in a second, though. But here's the PSP, which I think is really neat. I've only seen myself with one. I've never seen anybody else in person with one. I put a little strap on it, and I found the dog tag and put a dog tag on it just to add some identity to it a little bit. And I covered it in the protective plastic, just because I do use it, but it still is a collector's edition, so I want to try and preserve it as much as possible and play it at the same time, you know, which is really hard because this analog stick thing right here, it has grooves in it. If you can see, there's like a little line going through mines right there. It's from actually just putting my finger on there and playing, and I don't know how it happened, but still nice, still neat, still in very good condition, because I don't really use it that often. I'm not a big portable gamer. Did Twin Snakes already. I also got Peace Walker, the limited edition. Ooh, it's sliding out on me. Right? The limited edition. Right now, the reason I bought this was because when you buy the big boss pack with the PSP, the custom PSP in it, it comes with the game, but the game doesn't come with a case. So I was like, I'm in the market. I want to buy another version of Peace Walker just to have one with a case and instruction book, a PSP box, right? And I looked online and came to find out, which I didn't know until I looked online, that there was a limited edition version of the game itself, right? So I got the biggest Peace Walker bundle I could find when it came out. I got the Big Boss PSP, which they actually made another PSP, which was just green, which wasn't as limited as this one. I actually had to sleep outside of a GameStop in the mall for this Big Boss PSP, even though he said nobody pre-ordered it and they're getting one in and nobody wants it. But I said, just in case somebody's thinking like I'm thinking, I'm going to be at the door. And I was there. I went there at 6 o'clock in the morning. They didn't open until 10. And I just slept in front of the door. Like, that's real gaming nerdiness right there for you. But when you love something that much, and this game made that much of a big deal in my life, so to me it was worth it. It comes with the art book, and you slide it out. The game is there. Art book is has risen marks on it in the shape of the Peace Walker symbol. You open it up. You got you some nice Metal Gear Solid art. 3D picture of a middle-aged big boss, which is very rare to me because besides seeing him in Metal Gear Solid 4, really old, and well, not that was Snake. I'm talking about when you see him at the end of the game. Spoiler alert. Should have said that first though. Some really nice art. You know, it's really worth it. Of course, I think it was $80 at the time. Probably could find it for like 60, 70 now. That's Kazuo Ryan Miller. He's also, and well, he's referenced to in Metal Gear Solid 1. She looks a lot like Meryl, but that's Amanda. I'm currently playing Peace Walker at the moment. I've never beaten this game, just because there were so many other titles out at the time. I think this is Otacon in some way, shape, or form. Or he's related to Otacon, but when I play the game, I'll get back to it. The only thing I noticed about this version of Metal Gear was it doesn't have those crazy, super auspicious characters. I mean, they have strange characters like this character named Strangelove, and there's another guy named Hot and Cold Man, but they don't look auspicious enough. And like the crazy Vulcan Raven, Sniper Wolf type of characters that are really over dramatic and very just crazy looking. They don't have characters like that in this game, which means I'm betting the characters' personalities are what make them really crazy. Came with a nice limited edition poster. And that's really nice. It was actually inside the book, and I just gently removed the staple things out the back and just pulled the poster out because it was in the center of the book. And then I put the staples back in. Nice little art segment. Art collage they got there with a bunch of little clips from Metal Gear Solid, Peace Walker. It's really nice, man. Now, the next thing is the thing I went on, what was it, 11/8/11, when everybody else was buying Call of Freaking Duty that I didn't get, don't plan on ever getting. Well, I might get it just for research purposes, just to buy it, play it, and then if somebody asks me about it, I can't talk shit about something I never played, right? So I might eventually get it. But the thing I went there to get, and thank God I work at GameStop because there was 150 people waiting outside. The police closed our doors and said you got to get the people off the street or you're not going to be able to sell the game. But the thing I went there to get was, boom, Metal Gear Solid HD Collection Limited Edition. And when I say this thing is nice, this thing is nice. And it cost a pretty penny, $80, but Metal Gear is not just a game, it's an art form onto game making, so it was very worth it. And the case is very shiny and like lacquered off type of a feeling, but that's kind of for like waterproofing. If anything ever happens with liquid, it'll just roll off. It's like oiled over or something, which is very nice. And you'll be able to keep it very safely without having to worry about it. It comes with 2 slideys, 250-page art book, full-size art book, which is amazing. especially since the art in Metal Gear is freaking phenomenal, right? When you take the first slidey out, whoops, sorry about that. When you take the first slidey out, right, it slides out like this, and that's the game. Another thing I like to mention is the PS3 version's on one disc, which is very good, and also has a special feature that Hideo Kojima made named transferring, where you can take the PSP version if you're playing it at home on your console, right? And say you got to go on the bus somewhere, got to go to work and you take the bus, or you're going out to eat or whatever, on a train ride somewhere. You can take the game you're playing on the PlayStation 3, transfer it onto your PSP, and continue playing the game outside of your house on your PSP, which I think was just freaking amazing. It's something small, but it's innovative at the same time, because it's the first game I ever seen do that, right? And this is the art book. Then after that, there's nothing else in there. This nice little cardboard, hard, heavy-duty type of a cardboard, and it's the front of the book. Very high-quality lacquered hardcover book. Open this bad boy up. I'll show you a little bit. It's very Japanese looking in the refinement of how they do it, and very Metal Gear Solid themed. Like they didn't stray too far from what they know already, you know. It's really high gloss paper in here too for the art, so it gives that extra pop to the pictures. Like, that is freaking amazing, the art for this game. Now I can sit here and show you every single picture, but I'm not. It's an amazing picture of Dead Cell. Look at that, man. That is freaking amazing. Doesn't get no better than that for Metal Gear, for a real Metal Gear fan. Look at this picture of Snake. Snake. I like how they use it. Look at the color tone in there. It's amazing how they do that. They got the cover of Metal Gear Solid 2. And the book goes in order of the games that they suggest you play them, which is actually not the right way, but that's the way it says for you to play them. I think it's 2, 3, and Peace Walker. Another picture that's commonly out there. That's pretty, not rare, but a lot of people don't see that image. Let me get to an image that you might not have never seen. This kind of an abstract image of the ninja. Finally get some sleep. I'm awake, play me some Metal Gear today. And I started playing this already. I didn't do an unboxing for it because I was too tired. But I did start playing. I started with Peace Walker. Just for the fact I beat the other 2 games already. I wanted to play the game that I haven't beaten yet. Some really cool, very strategic in the art style, and showing you how they put the stuff together and why the characters look the way they look. I haven't even played part 2 and 3 even to see what they look like yet. I want to keep it a total surprise for myself, even though people have told me they look phenomenal in HD. Peace Walker looks good to me too, but I've seen people complaining about Peace Walker because it's a PSP title, but you gotta remember, it's a PSP title. So I wasn't expecting that much visually or even gameplay wise, because the mechanics are built for a handheld that doesn't have a second analog stick, you know, so I was expecting it to be a little wonky, but it's still Metal Gear, and it still plays very well. So I don't know what the hell the big complaint is about. But real gamers stand up. I'm gonna try and do a video on some news in a little while. Get up and get myself something to eat. I'll be doing that Metal Gear Solid 2 video as soon as possible, because I know you guys really want that, and a lot of people watch that video for some reason. I didn't think there was that many people out there that didn't understand the story of Metal Gear, or maybe I broke it down in a way that is very easy to understand. But I'll try to do another one of those for you guys as soon as possible. Just bear with me. It's going to take me a little while because I want to beat it first on here. And I beat games pretty slow, so but it's going to come, though. Real gamers stand up.